Hey guys, so we got a call from our worker that was out there working in the field cultivating, saying that they're running a little low on fuel. So we went ahead and brought in another worker to help us keep the planning going over here on field 14. And we're going to run over here and get our fuel trailer and take it over to the field 31, I believe, and let them go ahead and get on refueling that tractor. And then we'll probably need to bring our trailer back with the seed over to field 14 so that we can refuel that seeder, or not refuel, but refill that seeder as it runs, as it starts to run out. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get this thing hooked up. All right. Adjustable mirrors for the win. Let's go on over here. All right. So field 31 is just down here around the bend, just past the dairy. And we need to take a left. Alrighty. I think the field entrance is just around this bend here. It's right past here. I believe this is it. Let's see if we can figure out where our tractor is. Guess it's further up the hill here. Like I said, this is a heck of a climb. Up here somewhere. Oh, there they go. We'll just have to get them on the return trip up here. And in the meantime, let's just hop on out and take a look around. See this view over here. See how high up on this hill we are. We are pretty much almost at the highest peak of the map of the valley here. We've got our sheep and cow farm or areas off there in the distance. There's our tractor way down there at the bottom of the hill. So we'll just wait up here for them to make that climb back up the hill. Go ahead and kind of jog on up the hill here. We do have an overlook tower, but I've tried to climb the tower and I just can't seem to get up in it. So I'm not really sure, but at any rate, there's our lighthouse over there. So I'll just be right back with you once we get the tractor up here. Alright, so our tractor is gotten up here, and we went ahead and stopped it and had our driver cut the engine off. Let's go ahead and get our fuel pump running. There we go. Let's go ahead and get the refueling started here. And once we get this tractor refueled, we'll move our truck back out of the way and get him back started back where he back to cultivating. This little trailer is definitely going to come in handy as we are out in the fields doing our work and we need to change out things or refuel. We've almost went through a full trailer load of fuel already. Let's go ahead and turn this off and move our truck up out here, out of the way. Alright, they've gotten started back on their cultivating, so let's go ahead and take this trailer on back to the farm, and then we're going to pick up our seed, our flatbed with our seed on it, and go ahead and take that on over to field 14 so it'll be ready to refill. And this is seriously a major hill. I don't know if you all can tell the decline or the angle of this hill or not, but it is pretty significant. I'm not even going to attempt to try to back this up in cab with the mirrors. That would be probably a something that would probably take me all day to get done, especially with this little trailer, which will probably, seems like it wants to just swing real quick. If you're not careful, it'll just shoot off to an angle. Alright, that's good enough. Now, I've not tried to pull this big flatbed with this truck yet, so we may have some issues. But we're going to hook up to it and see what happens. Oh, that's never a good sight. I don't think this trailer's going to work with this truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this over here, and we're going to use our new Massey Ferguson to pick up. Let's go ahead and unstrap this one, and unstrap that one. We're going to use our Massey Ferguson here to go ahead and get our front arms and our forks, and go ahead and load up a pallet, because we shouldn't need but more than one pallet for the seeder to refill it. Oops. Oops. What's going on, people? There we go. So I'll tell you, I'll be happy when I take these little baby tires off this tractor. I commented over at the PCSG forums just today. There was I think Grand Thumb, who's doing law folds, had posted about putting some narrow tires on, and how they just look so funny. And I had commented that I had agreed with him that I can't get over these narrow little tires. They just look ridiculous on these tractors. There we go. Let's see if we can't get on this pallet without making too much of a mess of ourselves. Let's go for this one then. There's not a lot of room on these totes with respect to the forks. There we go. We got to that strap is holding us in. Alright. So let's go ahead and move this on over here. And we should probably get out here and let's see, what is it? That's what I thought it was, 7. Let's go ahead and remove that rack so we can set this down. There we go. Go ahead and strap her down. Put the rack back on it. And we'll go ahead and, you know what? We don't need these row crop tires anymore because all the crops that we're going to fertilize will be seeded. We won't be damaging them. So let's go ahead and put some proper tires on this tractor. So the farm shop is over here. Of course, we could have also used our trailer, but we'll just use the farm shop here. Let's go ahead and put some decent tires on this thing. All right, we got ourselves some fat tires with some wheel weights on here, so now it looks like a proper tractor. Go ahead and park this thing over here and get our 2 to seed back over to our seeder, at which we will just go ahead and take over the seeding operations. And we'll have to collect that errant tote a little bit later. All right. Just over there. So these two farms, the arable farm and the cow farm, are pretty close together. And then the sheep and the pigs are right adjacent to each other, but they're a fair distance away from these two fields, or these two farms. So we'll go ahead and leave our big tote of seed over here, and let's get on to our seeder. Alright, so we went ahead and took over the seeding operations, and we're just going to go ahead and work on this field and see how much of this we can hammer out today. I can already see that we're probably going to be buying a couple fields come next year to take care of. There's a couple that are pretty close to our cow farm that we might as well go ahead and try to pick up from the local farmers. And we may even try doing a couple jobs for them, depending on if we get done all of our spring field preparations in time. I know I've heard a couple of them say that they were interested in knowing if we could help them out. Whoa, what happened here? I thought I locked in the auto steering on the GPS. But I guess I didn't. So you can see here we're coming to that steep part of the field here that I was talking about the other day when we were doing the plowing. And the plan here is to do a couple headlands So we are leaving some room. We got a fence here, obviously, that we've got to contend with. That's our grass field that was planted in grass from our the previous occupant of the farm, or the previous steward of the farm. So we'll go ahead and keep that in grass, and of course we're going to put grass in the field over there. So guys, I want to take this opportunity again to mention the Mapper's Paradise Cancer Charity Map that they are putting together and are going to release. I saw a post just the other day from, I think you pronounce his name Listern, who is a Giant staff member. He's the guy that posts all of the information about the mods that are in for testing and various such forth on the forums. Well, he had went over to over at FSUK and had made a post over there on the charity map thread, basically saying that Giants was in full support of this and was eager to participate in any way and help out in any way possible with respect to this endeavor, and that was really cool to see. And there was even talk of possibly adding the charity or charities that that Mapper's Paradise was going to donate to, or intends to donate to, not was, but intends to, as a charitable option for other mod authors to basically select to have their own revenues, or a portion of their revenues that they would have earned as a result of downloads, to be also donated to that cause. So that was cool, and I look forward to more and more information on this particular cause going forward. But again, if for some reason you're coming along this this video and you haven't seen the thread, then basically there was a post over at FSUK from the Mapper's Paradise crew that was talking about putting together a map that was intended to be a community cancer charity project, where there's going to be several mod authors, map makers, 3D model makers that create models for buildings. There will be some special buildings that are being donated for the cause that will be a part of the map that are being created for this map. There is someone has made a monument that is apparently in that particular area. I think this is like an Irish map. So someone has made a monument, a memorial monument that is, I guess, in real life in that area of the country that relates to cancer survivors or cancer research or something to that effect. So that is going to be placed on the map. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'll be talking more about this project going forward, and as more information comes out about the project, I'll be mentioning it. The map will definitely be profiled in the map First Impressions playlist when I do get access to it. They had a post in that thread where they were basically asking YouTube folks that if they wanted early access to the map for the purpose of profiling it and talking about the project and everything to kind of put their name in the ring, put their name in the hat. I did that and got confirmation back that I was basically on the list, if you will. So I'm eager to learn more about that and maybe learn more about the particular time frame of this mapping project going forward. So, and of course, anything I learn, as long as I've been informed that it is public knowledge or relayable knowledge, that I will relay that to you all. So I'm a little curious what kind of format you guys prefer. I've had a kind of a run on several videos where I did kind of a musical time-lapse deal, and then I thought maybe that was getting a little played out. So I've done a couple videos where that's not been done. It's just basically been maybe some edits, cuts, but me just basically doing about 30 minutes worth of field work and calling that an episode. So I'm a little curious, how do you all want to see this series formatted? Do you want to see it in kind of a do you mind the time lapse? Does that get tiring? Basically episode after episode seeing 5 or so minutes of accelerated field work. It ends out to be about 20 minutes of real work to about 4.5 or so minutes of time-lapse footage, where we can basically try to cram a full day's worth of work into a 30-minute video. If that's the format you like, just let me know in the comments. If you'd rather just see kind of highlighted excerpts of a day or excerpts of multiple days, let me know there. We're talking about 96 game days to a year. We've already combined a couple of days of just plowing into single episodes. So I'm curious to know if you're interested in kind of segmenting out the videos per day, or if all we're going to be doing is seeding. If you're just like, okay, I've seen you seed, I've seen you run the planter, I don't need to see that for 12 straight episodes. So just show some highlights, work that you did, and then move on. That's fine too, because I definitely don't want people losing interest simply because they get tired of seeing me do the same thing over and over and over and over again. I'm also trying to pace it so that I don't end up having a whole bunch of extra time. So instead of using a 15 meter seeder, I'm using a 6 meter seeder. So it's going to take me 4 times as long to do whatever the job is. And if it takes 2 game days, well, it could have took me a half game day with the bigger deal. But if I end up with 6 days of spring left, the only thing left to do is to run a bunch of missions, or to head up into the hills to do forestry, or to just fast forward through 6 straight game days. What's the excitement in that, going from, let's say, spring, day 18 of spring, to day 1 of summer? So just let me know in the comments what direction you think would best interest you as a viewer with this series. It's fun watching other people that are doing the 24 days and seeing how they're playing it out and everything. I hope you all are checking out some other 24 days folks. There is a club over at PCSG called the 24 Days Seasons Club. It's free for anybody to join. It's not a you don't have to be participating in the event. I don't really want to call it a challenge because I don't really see it as a challenge. I see it more as a collective project to play out at least 1 year at 24-day seasons. Mostly to see how seasons interact. How's playing this long of a season different than a 6-day season or a 9-day season? Well, anyway, the club is open for anybody to join. There's a forum associated with the club that you can post topics in. There is members are creating blogs over at PCSG and kind of blogging about their virtual farming endeavor. And there are some really great role-play stories being played out. Really leaves you wanting to know more what's coming next. There are some very creative people over there, I'll tell you that. And basically it makes me look every day and wonder, am I going to get another edition of 24 Days on Lawfolds? Are we going to see another 24 Days on what are some other maps? There's a couple people doing Churn Valley, a couple people, at least one person's doing Lawfolds. We've got at least 2 people doing the Nagas Valley, which is not another Goldcrest Edit Valley map. We've got let's see here. We've got somebody doing the Newbie Farm. We got Mike doing the Newbie Farm map. We got Snedderton's. We've got another Stevie map. So we've got a couple Stevie maps in there with production. We've got some pretty much just straight up farming maps with minimal production. We got people with all the animals. We got people with no animals yet. So it's really fun to watch and see how everyone's playing this out. So I hope you all are definitely enjoying it, and do encourage you to check out the club. Check out the other folks that are doing this. And I don't know if I'm putting in my videos a 24 Day Seasons tag. So if you just search 24 Day Seasons, it should come up. Hopefully other guys are putting the same tag in their videos, so that when it comes time to search, if you put in 24 Day Seasons, you'll basically get several results of the people doing 24 Day Seasons gameplay. We've already got a fair bit of this field seeded. We should be able to finish this field out in this game day. We will need to refill our seeder here momentarily. Maybe not so momentarily, but soon. In fact, you might as well go over there and fill it up now once we get to the end of this run. In fact, let's go ahead and check out our forecast. We got rain tomorrow, rain on day 15 on Monday, and then some cloudy skies and some sun. Not too terrible bad. We can definitely see the weather is warming up. We've got a high of 57 today. We've got down in the 50s. Let's go ahead and turn this off and fold it up. So with these warm temperatures, hopefully our ground temp will come up quite a bit here soon. I don't want to be too far into late spring before we can get to planting our soybeans and our corn. It'd be nice if we could get all that done early. maybe by day 18. Alright, let's take that down. So once we get our fields planted, we're going to be in a position to start thinking about cows. We will be bringing cows into the map soon. Don't want to buy too much product in as far as straw and silage and grass and hay. So I want to wait until we can at least pull some hay off of this grass field up here. We might try to see if we can't make a little bit of silage by putting it in our fermentation silo, as well as make up some hay bales and whatnot. We'll probably need to buy some straw in for quite a while, simply because we won't have straw until harvest time. And the goal will be to see if we can't buy our cows at the best opportune moment to obviously save money. And if we can do that, I'm thinking we may be able to get 100 head of cows for about $330,000 if we're lucky. So that will be the goal, is to kind of start monitoring cow prices and basically buy our herd from the animal market, which is over by the docks over there. They bring livestock in off of big ships. I can only imagine what that smell must be like on those ships after bringing them over. I don't really know where they're coming from, but they come in on the ships and offload them right there at the docks. So we're just going to go ahead and finish this out for the rest of the day, and when we come back, will be next game day. It will be game day 13. Forecast says it'll be raining. Our goal will be to, if this doesn't get the fields too terrible wet, is to be over on field 31, putting canola in that field. And we're probably going to swap out tractors. We're probably going to seed with our Massey Ferguson on that field, simply because of that big hill. We're going to want the extra horsepower. And so with that, guys, I bid you a good farewell. I do encourage you to check out the PCSG web community and the Three Dudes Gaming Network, as well as check out the Three Dudes media members. They are all in my description. So until next time, guys, happy farming.